Yeah.
So what's the name of your group? You're from Vermont.
From Vermont. We're a chapter of STAND, excuse me. It's a international anti-genocide student militia run by students.
Okay. How was it founded? And why?
It was founded by a group of college students, I believe, in 2000.
It's part of the Genocide Intervention Network. It's the student organization underneath that umbrella.
And it was founded specifically because of the genocide that's continuing in Darfur right now.
Well, we just had someone on to talk about the genocide in Darfur. It's interesting because if you read the international and especially American media reports, you would think that everything is fine, the issues don't exist, there's no press attention to that. But just what is the situation today, and how much gain has been made, where they need to work better, and why certain forms of genocide continues?
Well, basically, it's kind of like a genocide in slow motion going on right now. There are about 2.5 million people either internally displaced within Darfur itself, and then there are also refugees living in Chad of that same number. So they're living in dire conditions. And,
define dire conditions.
I would say in Darfur, they basically have nothing because UN can't go in there and help them because they're still within country. So there's only like some barely any aid organizations that are allowed into Sudan to even help them. So they're just living in wherever people happen to form a group and locate and try to build shanty forms of
internally displaced person camps.
Yeah. Have any of you actually physically visited Darfur?
No.
They don't really allow people. The government doesn't really allow any sort of aid organization or anyone to really enter the country.
With the International Criminal Court recently issued a arrest warrant for the president of Sudan.
Right,
and so after that happened, he expelled the 13 international aid organizations that were there, so that aid's gone, and I think there are also 3 more national, is that right, national aid organizations? There are 16 total. So you're really not, it's not easy to get.
Well, what is your effectiveness, though?
Well, we do a lot of advocacy. We're actually going to be lobbying with our senators tomorrow and asking them to get behind certain bills that affect Darfur, the Congo. Yeah, just Darfur and Congo. There aren't any asked for Burma. We also work on Burma too, but tomorrow we're specifically asking for Congo and Darfur.
What's the best outcome for you in terms of this trip?
Successful lobbying.
Yeah.
Making sure
Legislation passed?
Yes.
Legislation.
Yeah.
Have they passed legislation in the past?
They have.
They have. Yeah. And why is there a need now for more legislation?
There needs to be stricter sanctions.
Yeah. There needs to be a new policy, basically, which Obama is starting to implement. But it needs to actually be followed through and have tangible
And what is this
outcomes.
policy?
It's protection for
Civilian.
civilian protection.
Civilian protection. Well, listen, we appreciate you taking the time. We always admire young people when they're doing something other than listening to music.
We also do that, though. We love music, though, you know what I mean?
Party, but at least you guys have taken on a very serious cause to stop genocide in Darfur, Congo, and even Burma. And we appreciate you sharing this story and enlightening us on what is happening beyond the news. This also has critical significance. And thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care. All right.